Well, I think it was a little different when I was editing the State Press, because we were a weekly, and so we didn't address daily issues or that type of thing. And of course now they're all online instead of newsprint, so it's quite different. Well, of course I miss getting ink on my fingers as I read the paper, but but that isn't going to change. I have to get used to the electronic media, but I'm an old guy. When I was a freshman, we had 5,000 students. When I graduated 4 years later, we had 10,000 students. And it just kept developing, as you very well know, with that steep growth. But we were rather small. We knew most everybody who was active at all. Well, I felt that I could write a story and get it published, and I knew a little bit about what I was doing. I'd planned on going into journalism and going back to my hometown newspaper, the Mesa Tribune. And I was walking down the campus before I was going to take that job, and the vice president of the university saw me and said, "Do you know we're looking for an alumni editor?" And I said, "No." He said, "You get over there right now." And I was hired. So it prepared me greatly because they recognized that I could do that work, and I started off editing the alumni magazine. So I felt I was really well prepared.
The role of any newspaper is to spread truth, and the State Press was no different. Even though it was run by students, or is run by students, it's professional, it is accurate, it's fair, it's balanced, it tells the truth, and that's the role it still plays today. I realized I graduated in 1991, so it's been 25 years since I worked in that newsroom. But it is interesting enough, just last week I took my twin daughters to ASU, they're juniors, to tour the campus. And we went down into the Matthews Center, and I walked into the State Press newsroom for the first time in 25 years, and nothing had changed. Like, it just looked the same. Desk was there, the same layout was there. When I was the opinion editor, I had that office over to the left, right next to the door. So I was pleased to see that, because it's a real newsroom, it's a working newsroom, and that hasn't changed. I'm sure how they do things and the equipment they use and the tools and all that has changed, but it was nice to see the Matthews Center basement newsroom was still there. Oh, it's excellent. It's an excellent training ground. Real deadlines, ethics, again, balance, fairness, accuracy, all the things that you value as a professional journalist, you learn in the State Press newsroom. We have always been treated as professional journalists, and that is how we were trained to what we do today. I remember one of our first big scoops, and was about J. Russell Nelson retiring and resigning from the university. And that was he was the university president at the time. And I think I just read that he passed away recently, unfortunately. But that was one of our very first scoops. We got a heads up that was going to happen, and we were able to break that news. We were there during the time when they were putting the luxury boxes in the stadium. And there was lots of discussion about alcohol in the stadium, and that was a big campus controversy. And I remember I wrote an opinion article because the regents were going back and forth on what to do about this, and the lead of my editorial was the Arizona Board of Regents has a drinking problem. So I still remember that one. They let me stay in school after that.
If you're not having fun, why are you here? For me, it's terrific. I loved my experience at State Press, so I mean, it's fun to go back to that, what I called the best workplace, best newsroom I've ever worked in, and be able to be in a similar role as Bruce Ituli had for us. Professional satisfaction is very high. You still got to be useful to the students, so just, am I useful at all? There. Cronkite now offers so many internship opportunities, and there's clubs and things that they're able to do, far more than when I was a student here. But State Press remains unique among all those opportunities, in that they have ownership of the product in a way that they won't in any internship. It's their product. I won't interject myself much on that unless they came to me and asked me specific questions, because I'm trying to respect their editorial independence. I don't go to their budget meetings. Those are their decisions to make, and I think that's pretty similar to what Bruce did with us.
I think they teach it at the Cronkite School now, of course, the free press. Is so important, and you look at other countries where journalism is an arm of the state. It's so important that we have a free, independent press.
Students should not be afraid to tell the truth and to spread the truth. Students should go after ambitious stories. That's very important to all newspapers, including the state press. They shouldn't be afraid to tackle complicated issues. They should trust their training to be able to deliver those stories in a fair and balanced and accurate way. Being able to have that voice is important for the campus, it's important for the students, and they should absolutely use it.
State press, these guys, you know, some of them are here 5 days a week, and you know, this is a big portion of their lives and making this thing work. They all share a pride in having worked at the state press. There's this thing that we all share.
I proudly wear this shirt. I got it at a Cronkite event a year or so ago, and I just want to say that when I graduated in journalism, we had one full-time journalism professor. He was excellent, Ernest J. Hopkins. He was a former Hearst newspaper's editorial page editor. He was really good, but he was one professor. It was a part of the English department. It was totally unaccredited. And now I'm a graduate of the Walter Cronkite School, one of the best in the country, and I'm very proud of that.